In this video, we're going to go over settings and integrations. Once you're logged into the CRM, we are going to navigate over to the top right corner. It's either going to be your profile photo or your initials. Once we click that, we're going to scroll down here to settings. Now, as you can see, there are quite a few different tabs here in the settings section. So I just want to quickly run through the settings and just some important pieces of information that you'll find in here. So the first section is just going to be your profile section. So this is where you'll upload a profile picture, a company logo, basic account information, your NPN, some language preferences, things like that. So go through, make sure all that information is updated. The second tab here, this is going to be your subscription. So this will show you what you're paying for. And then if you have any add-on subscriptions like automations, this is where you can add those on or just take a look at what you're paying for. The third one down here is the staff. So every account comes with a staff account. So if you have the CRM for just an agent, you do get one staff seat included with your monthly price. If you want to add an additional staff member, all you have to do is come over here and hit the plus icon. You can fill out the basic information. The staff member will receive a notification via email to sign up for their account. And then as you can see, there are some preferences that you can turn on or off for the staff member. So for example, if you don't want them to see any commission data or import or export, you can deselect any of these preferences based on what you need your staff member to do. The security tab is where you will set up your security PIN. To access private information like MBIs or Medicare, Medicaid information, you're going to want to set up a 4-digit PIN. You will use this PIN each time you access the private info section within a client's profile. This PIN is the same for all of your clients. You'll set it once, and that is the PIN you'll use. Notification preferences. So this is important to make sure you have set up. So anytime there are things that occur within the CRM, like client alerts, client portal completion, SOA completion, you're going to want to make sure you're getting your notifications. So to set these up, you can either send an SMS or you can have it sent via email. So just specify which one you want and put in the correct information. So this one's set to email. I have my correct email address in there, and I'm going to hit save. And then just go through and turn on any of these that you would like to receive a notification about. Numbers. This section here is a place for you to store important writing numbers. So this could be company writing numbers, license numbers, things like that that you want to just have handy. So when you're in the CRM and you click on this links and numbers tab here, you'll see all of your company writing numbers or any kind of numbers you've added in here. What's nice about this is you can click on the number and it is now copied. So you can go ahead and paste this. So if you're needing to log into like a broker portal or something like that, you can just easily copy this, head over to that site and paste that number right in. And same with links. These kind of work hand in hand, the custom links and numbers. You can come in here and add any type of link that you would like. So obviously you can see we've got, broker portals, maybe a link to your Facebook page, the back end of your website, whatever it may be. You can come over here, give it a category, go ahead and name it. So if it's like, Aetna broker portal or Facebook page, website, whatever it is, you can come in here, fill out all this information and add the link. And then same type of thing here. You're just going to click this links and number icon. Depending on if you have top nav or side nav, you will see the same icon. And then you can go ahead and open up all those links. So this is a great place to just keep organized, store a bunch of numbers or links that you want to have handy at all times. The next one down here is sources. So each of your clients or prospects are going to be given a source. So that a lot of times will be how the client came to you or however you want to source them. But for example, when you, let's just say you uploaded a book of business and you now have a group of clients that are all in a specific source. So maybe it was United Healthcare or Aetna or something like that. What you can do in this section is delete and consolidate sources. So if you were to see here, you're like, you know what, I no longer want to use this specific source. You can come in here and consolidate. So you could take everybody out of this source and you could consolidate them into a new source. And then you can delete the source once there is 0 clients using that source. So this is great to just keep tabs on your sources, delete them, consolidate them, and just stay organized. Next, we're going to move on to flags. So the flagging tool is really great if you want to have some sort of like custom naming conventions or just different ways that you want to group clients. So there's plenty of different colors that you can customize, and these are all customizable. So you can come in here, you can edit. So maybe you want to use a flag to just flag people by a specific reason. So, you know, maybe they all have a Medicare Advantage plan. So I'm going to update this. You can see now the red flag is named Medicare Advantage plan, and then you can go in and flag all of your clients based on different use cases with the flags. So these are a great tool. Also on the dashboard, one thing to note about the flags, if you click on this clients tab right here and you move over to this tab here that says flagged, you can actually see all of your flags grouped together. So this is just one easy way of being able to come in and see all of your flags in use. And then obviously in the reporting section, you can run reports based on flags. So same type of thing. You could pull a complete report with that specific flag, find all of your people, and then if you need to send them an email or something like that, you're able to do that. So let's navigate back into settings and continue. All right, so the next one we're going to go over is pages. So pages just has a few things, different preferences that you'll want to go over. So the first one here is dashboard. So if you belong to an agency, let's just say you're the agency principal, and every time you log in, you want to land on your agency dashboard, you can update that. So you can always log in, land on the agency dashboard instead of your agent or My Biz dashboard. So that's where you'll update that. The ESOA, so this is a big one. If you're wanting to send out electronic scope of appointments, you want to make sure that this says enabled. Sometimes when you first sign up for your account, it may automatically have it as disabled. You're going to want to make sure that that's turned on. Once you have that enabled, you then will be able to send out an electronic scope of appointment from the client's profile page. All right, moving on to pending business. So in the CRM, when you add a new policy, there's 2 ways that you can kind of track this. So if you want to manually follow all of your policies that you have in the system, you can have it set to manual, and this would basically have you change a policy that goes from pending to active. So for example, if you were in the pending page here and you have it set to manual, this would be a great way to keep track of your plans. And once you know that that plan has been issued and is effective, you could come over here and hit this button that says issued, and it's going to mark that policy from pending to active. If you have it set to automatic, the CRM is automatically going to change any policy from pending to active on that specific effective date. So if you put in a policy, it's effective January 1st. January 1st rolls around, the system is automatically going to go in and change them from pending, and they will now appear active in your book of business. The next thing down here is leads. So this is going to be for adding additional status options. So if you like to stay organized a specific way and you have specific statuses that you like to give to clients as you're working on them, you can do that here. So you can just come over here, give it a new status name, and then you can give it a status disposition. So maybe you would do some for open, some for cold, some for closed. You can customize all of those in here. Activities, this section here, if you turn this to yes, you will have the system email you a weekly report of all of your activities that you have set. This last one here, profile notes. So if you're a heavy note taker and you're noticing that the notes section is starting to get very big and very long, you can specify this to have it go to concise. And what that will do is it'll just shorten up and make your notes a little bit smaller. So that way you can see more of the notes. You're not scrolling through a lot of notes within the profile notes section. So if you feel like your note section isn't going to be overly full, you can just leave it at pretty and keep it the way it is. And then we're not going to do anything with this last one. Now that we have our client portal tool active and in use, this is kind of an irrelevant little box. So we're just going to kind of ignore that. I wouldn't worry about that. The next tab down here, this is the client portal section. So we have additional videos on how to set up and send the client portal, but this is where you'll come in, create, and update any existing client portal that you have. The policy section, this is a great tool. So if you've had clients that have been in the CRM for a while and let's just say a carrier decides to change a plan name, you can come in here under this policy section and check all of your policies for any plan names. So after I've hit this button, check my policies, I am seeing here that there is a plan name that has occurred. So the plan has changed from Aetna Medicare Eagle plan to just Aetna Medical Eagle. So I can come over here and I can convert. So what that's going to do is it's going to find everybody in my book of business who has a Aetna Medicare Eagle plan, and it's going to go ahead and swap it to that new name. So now I don't have to go in and make sure all my plans are up to date. The system is checking them for me, and I can go in and just tackle them all at once. If you click on this button here that says see history, you can go back and see all of the plans that you've converted and on which date you did that. If there's ever a time that you need to revert a plan name, you can click this button over here and revert the plan back to the old name. One other thing to note in here is plan walks. So if a company has, done something where you need to walk a large group of people from one plan to the next, so they're getting rid of a plan and they're all walking over to a new plan, you can do that in here. So you can come over here to list policies. You can select one of your plans. So if you know that this Aetna plan is going to be walking over to a new plan, you can come over here and select the new plan name, and then you can walk them over to that new plan very seamlessly. The signatures tab. So this is where you'll set up your email and letter signature. Your email signature, this is obviously going to be, what you use in your current inbox. So obviously your personal information. It's always a good thing to include disclosures as well in your email signatures. And then the letter signatures, this is going to be used for any time you send out a letter. So the CRM does allow you to create letter templates and print them out. So this would be the signature that you would use on a letter versus this is the signature you would use on an email. Okay, so VoIP phones. So there's usually a lot of questions revolve around the VoIP phone. So this section here is going to show you all of the different voice over IP phones that we integrate with. So as you can see, there's quite a lengthy list here. So you can kind of go through, if you're not currently using a VoIP phone, you can go through this list and choose one that you feel fits the needs of your business, set that up and integrate it within the CRM. And the integration is really great for staying compliant because within a client's profile, so we will jump over here real quick and take a look. So I've just opened up a client here and I'm going to scroll over to the left-hand side and scroll down to the notes and logs section. And within my logs here, I do have a section for call logs. So if you've got a voice over IP phone connected into the CRM, it will give you the ability to log your calls. You'll get a time and date stamp. It'll also show you which VoIP carrier you're using, the duration of the call, and then if there is a recording, so if the call was long enough to record, you will see a spot where you can open up and listen to the recording. So it's pretty nice. It does store a copy of that recording within the CRM. So if you ever switch phone carriers, you will see that historical data in there and you will be able to go back and listen to those phone calls. So the voice over IP integration is very nice. It does help you, stay compliant, number one, but also helps you stay organized where you can see the last time you spoke to a client or go back and listen to a phone call. All right, so underneath of the VoIP phone is going to be our integrations tab. So there is a lot to see here in the integrations tab. One of the great things about Medicare Pro CRM is we like to integrate. We like to make things easy for our clients. So over the years, as we have continued to work with different agents, we have expanded our list of integrations. So when you first land here in the integrations tab, you're going to see the calendar embed. So as we've kind of talked about in previous videos, when you log into your dashboard, you are going to see a calendar. You can use the default calendar that's built into the CRM, or you can embed a calendar of your own. Within here, you can choose the calendar service. So I have Gmail here. And what you can do is embed your calendar. So that way, when you're logging into the CRM, you can take a look at, if you've got your Gmail calendar or your Outlook calendar, you can see those on your dashboard. So that way you're not using and trying to stay up on another calendar. Calendly, this is a really cool integration that we have built. So obviously Calendly is a booking tool for your clients so they can go and self-book a time with you. The integration, what it does is anytime somebody books a time with you, so let's just say it's somebody new, they're not in your CRM yet, they go ahead and book a time on your calendar, the CRM is going to go ahead and create a lead. So that will show up in your leads page. It's going to be a new person that's added into your book. So that is the first part of the integration. So that seamlessly comes in. The other thing you can do is tell the system to send out an automatic portal or an automatic scope to people who schedule meetings through your Calendly. So as you can see here, there's 2 different meetings that I have within my Calendly account. And so what you could technically do is have the system send out an auto scope or an auto portal based on different meeting types. So let's just say a discovery call. This is going to be a brand new person. You've never spoken with them before. So you're going to want to have them maybe send out a scope. So from there, they're going to receive a scope of appointment. They can sign that, and that will save into their to their profile. And then, maybe you have another one that is maybe a plan review, and you want this one to send out a scope. So that will automatically send them a link where they can go in, make updates, changes to any existing information that they have in the CRM. So the Calendly integration is pretty great. We always recommend, if you have Calendly, to get it integrated so that way the systems are talking to each other. The next one we have here is Outlook. So if you are an Outlook user, you can integrate Outlook into the CRM. We are still waiting on Gmail. We've been in a bit of a holding pattern with getting that integration finalized. But Outlook is up and running and ready to go. So for example, I'm going to just pop into a client's profile real quick and show you kind of how this integration works. On the left-hand side, you are going to toggle down here to the envelope icon. This is emails. This screen here is going to pop out. So if you've got your Outlook created, what the integration does is it's going to funnel in the emails that you have had with this client, and it's going to show you them here in this email section. So as you can see, we emailed this client, congratulations, your policy's been approved. You can see the email. If they would have responded to this, I could see the response here within the email chain. So that's a pretty great integration that, just similar to the call logs, is just going to help you see a log of communications that you've had with the client and keep track of anything that was sent. Moving on, so Thanks.io. This is a really cool integration for handwritten cards. So Thanks.io integrates directly within Medicare Pro CRM. And what it allows you to do is to send out handwritten letters, cards, gift cards, notes, postcards, things like that to your clients. So let's go ahead and show you a quick example of how this would work. So before you were to integrate this into the CRM, via Thanks.io, you would go in and create all of your different letters, postcards, gift cards. You would create all of those within Thanks.io. And then once the integration is complete, you will then be able to come in here and directly send somebody a handwritten card from the CRM, and it's being sent out from Thanks.io. So for example, I'm going to come over here to this Actions tab and hit Send Mail. and you see a few things are going to pop up here. So Medicare Pro CRM, this would be like if you have created a letter template within the CRM, you can print that template off and send it directly to your client. And then we're going to click this one here that says thanks.ao. So within here, this box is going to open up and it's going to show me on the left-hand side the different templates that I have created. So here is an example of a postcard. I've designed this in thanks.ao. I have all my message information pulled in here, and I would select this. I would select my message, and then I can send this out directly to my client. So there's a few things here that you would want to select, the address, the size of the postcard. Once all this is selected, everything looks good, you can hit send. So this is a really cool integration. I know their price point is really good, and it works wonderfully with the CRM. So an easy way to send out, maybe referral gift cards or postcards or anything like that to stay connected with your clients. RetireFlow. So the CRM has recently integrated with RetireFlow, and this allows you to use their system and their surveys to send out to your clients. So the system now is going to bring the data from RetireFlow into Medicare Pro CRM. It is going to log that data within the client's profile. So if you were to go over to a client, it is going to add the information. So it'll add it here in the prescriptions and the health, and it's going to give you a date stamp of the time that it did come in. One thing to note with RetireFlow, since they do collect new information every single time that a survey is filled out, it is going to override the existing data. So if there's anything in here as far as drugs and stuff go, as long as they're filling out that form in completion, bringing over all their drugs, it will go in here and just replace all the drugs with what they have filled out within RetireFlow. It's also going to give you a quick snapshot under this notes section. You will see a little snapshot that says data retrieved from RetireFlow. So you do know that that data was in fact collected and saved in the profile. So we're very happy that that integration is up and running. I know a lot of people use RetireFlow, so we are happy that that is officially up and running. And then a few other ones to note, you've got your MailChimp, Constant Contact, things like that are great for emails. So if you have built out, some really great workflows within these systems, you can continue to use them. You can sync your contacts right over and continue to send out emails through one of these email providers. Mailbox Power, this is going to be similar to thanks.io. Same with Direct Mail Manager. Current Client is a great integration for bulk texting. I think sometimes one of the biggest confusions that we do here is that people want to send bulk text via their VoIP carrier, and a lot of times they'll limit you to a specific number, like no more than 10 messages at a time. So if you're interested in sending out bulk text messaging, Current Client is a great integration to set up. The next integration we'll go over here is CareCycle. So CareCycle is a pretty great tool. It is a AI receptionist tool. And the way it integrates in with Medicare Pro CRM is when you're using CareCycle as an AI receptionist, somebody calls in, CareCycle is going to have the ability to access client data. So if one of your clients calls in, it can go through, review notes, it can review current medications, providers, and try to assist the client with any questions that they may have. So that integration is pretty neat. If you don't know much about it, I would definitely recommend checking it out. So slide broadcast. This is a really cool integration for voicemail drops. So I know what some of the newer trends out there now are to have voicemails appear in people's voice mailbox without receiving a missed call. You can do all of this through slide broadcast. I do believe you're able to record yourself and use AI to kind of manipulate the message to sound great and do all of those email blasts directly here, voicemail drops right here from the CRM. So very cool. Enroll here is an inbound lead program. So if you do receive any calls via Enroll here, the systems are connected and will talk to each other, and those new leads that you do receive will be funneled in and added into your leads page. Simple texting and text request, these are going to be for single SMS. So if you are not using a voice over IP phone system and you do want to still be able to text message through the CRM, you can set up one of these integrations here to do so. Medicare Agents Hub, that is a pretty neat website that is designed for Medicare agents. It's a directory tool. And the way the integration works within the CRM is if somebody were to find your information and fill out a form via Medicare Agent or the hub via the directory, it is going to funnel that person's information in and add them in to your leads page. So Health Sherpa, this is a newer integration for Medicare Pro. Phase 1 of our integration with them is on the Medicare side. So right now you are able to take your client's information and send it over to Health Sherpa. At this point in time, it is just going to be the application data. We are, continuing to work on that integration to be able to provide more data to Health Sherpa. Moving on, Sunfire Matrix. So this is a very commonly used integration. A lot of people who are using Sunfire through an FMO are able to connect their Sunfire integration here within Medicare Pro. And I'm just going to kind of walk you through real quick how this would work. So when you're ready to set up that Sunfire integration, you're just going to come over here to set it up. This dialog box is going to open up, and it is very important to remember that you need to find your parent organization. So Sunfire is designed a little differently based on your parent organization, so the FMO that provides this for you. So as you can see here, it is going to outline for you what data is being sent from Medicare Pro and what data is being sent back over, if any. So, for example, if you're working with Advocate Financial, you're able to take your application data and send that over to Sunfire to go ahead and work on your enrollment. Some other organizations, they have, I'm just going to scroll down this list here, have some different integrations where data can be sent back in to Medicare Pro. So for example, like you can send back over policy data. And then we do have larger integrations with some. So for example, if you work with like the Brokerage Inc., you can send over all of the application data as well as the prescriptions and the pharmacies. And then if the agent is working within Sunfire and they decide to do their entire enrollment via Sunfire before putting the person into Medicare Pro, it will bring back over the policies, the prescriptions, the pharmacies, and the providers. So each relationship with the parent organization is a little bit different, so just keep that in mind as you're scrolling through this list. You do want to make sure that you are connected correctly with the parent organization. So once you're ready to go ahead and set that up, you're just going to click Connect Your Account. And then when you go over to Sunfire and log in, it will then begin to send the data back and forth. Similar to Sunfire Connecture, the same type of setup. So you're going to come in here, you're going to select the parent organization that you do work under. There is the ability now to connect with Plan Compare Edge for agents, the newer platform that they have released. So if you're using that, you're going to want to select Plan Compare Edge from the dropdown. And then a few other things to note here. So some other integrations, Medicare Growth Lab, Medicare Marketing, Boost Medicare, some lead vendors. If you're using a lead vendor out there, you're able to send lead data into the CRM. A lot of times you will need to obtain an API key from either the lead vendor or us, depending on the way that it's set up. If you do have any questions about that, you can see here, you'll just want to email support, and we will help you finish and finalize the integration. All right, moving on, commissions. So the commissions tab, this is where you are going to be setting up any commission schedules. So Under the Analytics tab here, so if you're in Top Nav, you'll just click Analytics, same on Side Nav. Once you're in the Analytics section, there are 3 tabs you're going to see here: Production, Renewals, and Schedule. So the schedule is going to go ahead and automatically calculate for you MAPDs and PDPs. But let's just say you add in a policy outside of one of those 2 types of policies, like a Medicare supplement or a dental policy. You can create a commission schedule. You can do this from the commission page or the settings page. Once you're in this section, you can set up a commission schedule for the different types of plans. So for example, if you put in a United Healthcare Plan G, you would just come over here, click Add Schedule, input the data, and that is going to tell the CRM how to calculate the commission based on what information you have put in here. Hit save, and that is ready to go. So going back to the settings page, the last one down here is just going to be more tutorials. So if there's any other things that you want to find out more information on, you can click this tutorials button. You can also access our help guide from clicking your initials or your profile picture in the top right corner and go down here to help. The help articles are going to have tons of details on all kinds of different things that you can do within the CRM. You can come up here and search for something, or you can just open up the folders and take a look at the different articles. So that is the settings and integrations page. There's obviously a lot of information packed in this section. It's always important to get in here, and one of the first things that you should do when signing up for the CRM is get in here and go through all of these different settings that you can customize. So this is going to help you be faster and better with the CRM, and is something we always recommend getting a head start on.